together. You have been of very good behavior since I was away. And I am glad that you are happy that I am here. This is the African History Club. Now today we're going to look at Naa Bounkani. Naa Bounkani. A lot of you will pronounce it Naa Bounkani. Correct pronunciation, Naa Bounkani. My brother, my sister. Now when you go to the Ivory Coast, there is a small town there called Buna. B-O-U-N-A, Buna. In fact, in the days, there was even a kind of biscuit coming from that area called Buna biscuit. And Ghanaians used to call it Bouna biscuit. Bouna biscuit. But correct pronunciation, Buna biscuit. Producer, see if you can find a photograph of Buna biscuit. B-O-U-N-A biscuit. Buna biscuit. An all-time biscuit. It used to be very popular in Ghana. And if you were dating a young lady and you couldn't buy Buna biscuit, trust me, you would lose. In those days, courting and romance was so sweet and beautiful. You only needed Buna biscuit, a bicycle, and your romance was complete. These days, oh, beautiful Buna biscuit. Oh my God. Look at it. It had pictures of animals. You know, the cow, the goat, is like you've seen here. See if you can see the wrapper so people can, you know, get that. This is it. It is no more here. That biscuit is no more produced. It used to be produced in the area known as Buna. In fact, in La Côte d'Ivoire. Now, Buna is a town in northeastern Ivory Coast. It is, in fact, a beautiful area and the seat of Buna department. It is also the seat of Bounkani region in the Zanzan district of La Côte d'Ivoire. My brother, my sister, now near Buna is the Kamwe National Park. Remember the Kamwe River? The Kamwe National Park is very close to Buna. So you now understand why the biscuit had so many different wild animals on. It was all because of the Kamwe National Park. And look at this. All right, so it looks like this, not the other one there, not the milk chocolate, but the Buna. This one is the right one. You know, it used to be reddish. That was the color of the wrapper. How many of you remember Buna biscuits? Okay, only 2 people. Wow. All right. So the rest of you are Indomie, generation people. Okay, so let's go straight to the point. My brother, my sister. Now, the Kamwe National Park is very close to the Ghanaian border. How many of us know that? The Ivorians and Ghanaians are brothers. The Togolese and Ghanaians are brothers. Africans are brothers and sisters. And when I say brothers and sisters, I'm trying to tell you that we come from a common bloodline. My brother, my sister. Now, the main town of the Lobi people, my brother, my sister, is the Buna. And it's known for its vernacular architecture. My brother, my sister, and how the people are so close together. Today, it has a population of about 100,000 people. But how did this town come into being? Now, this town called Buna was inhabited by an ethnic group known as the Kulango. K-O-U-L-A-N-G-O. Kulango. In fact, and the Jula people. My brother, my sister, in the late 16th century, look at what happened. The king of the area was known as King Hyenaryi. King Hyenaryi. I will spell it, don't worry. Hyenaryi is spelled H-Y-E-N-A-R-Y. Aingere. King Hyenaryi. He was the king of the area. And the people loved him. Then the Dagombes, they came all the way from the Ghana Empire, were the first, my brother, my sister, in this country to settle and start a kingdom. Please note this. The very first kingdom in this part of the country today called Ghana was by the Dagombes. Now they started to move around and also conquer some other areas. It was around that time a man by name Naa Bounkani. Naa Bounkani. Can I spell it? Naa Bounkani. N-double-A for Naa, and Bounkani is Zokali. He moved his soldiers all the way from Ghana, today's Ghana, and moved into the Ivory Coast. After the Kamwe River, went all the way into the Kamwe Park area, and there they decided to settle because it was a small village and very much endowed, so rich. That was when they met with Hyenaryi, and he gave them a place and accepted them to stay there because he realized that Naa Bounkani was a very powerful man and he could protect the whole area. So the Dagombes stayed there, only a few of them, and then they started to make babies. You know, the Dagombes are so fertile. If you're a woman, you've been looking for a baby all this while, don't play with a Dagomba man. Pa! You are pregnant. Twins, triplets. Pa! 4 children. And it was the Ashanti Empire that discovered how fertile the Dagombes were and decided to infuse them into the Akan heritage. What a great king that king was. I'm not going to digress. So when Naa Bounkani came all the way, in fact, the proper name is Zakari, but it was Dagombanized into Bounkani. He and his troops came there protecting the people of the area, the Kolangi people. Yes, the Kolango people, my brother, my sister, were so peaceful under King Hyenaryi. So they gave them a place. They started making babies, intermarrying, and look what happened. Naa Bounkani fell in love, my brother, my sister, with the king's daughter. Hi. And he went to tell the king that he had seen his daughter and was interested in marrying her. My God, the king was more than happy. Hey, the lady was called Mantu, Mantou, Mantu. They got married. She got pregnant. Whilst he was on his conquest, hunting and doing some other such things, his wife Mantu gave birth to a male. And in those days, nobody could name the child but the father. So King Hyenaryi sent an emissary, a servant, a messenger, to go all the way and look for Naa Bounkani and ask him for a name for the newly born child. And when Naa Bounkani saw the messenger riding a horse, sweating in an entourage, he was wondering what was wrong. Did somebody die? Did somebody die? And when the messenger arrived, he asked him in Dagbani, Bounkani, 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 Bounkani. It means, what is wrong? What is the problem? Listen to this. So, the messenger thought that Naa Bounkani wanted his son to be called Bounkani. Remember, they spoke two different languages. The Kulango, and these people spoke the Dagbani. So he went back and told King Hyenaryi, oh, I met with Zokali, and he knew, even before I arrived, that I will be coming. He didn't even ask me why I was there. The moment I arrived, he told me, call my son Bounkani. Before Zokali could return, his son had been named Bounkani, which means what is wrong. He became the next king of the area, the Kulango king. How did he become a king? It's a story of betrayal. Hyenaryi loved them. He accepted them in his palace, and they protected him. Once in a while, he would even make the young Bounkani sit on his throne. One day when he sat on the throne, in his mid-teens, he declared himself king. And Hyenaryi could not sit on the throne again. Now you have to trust a man to give your wife to him to take care of. A throne is like a wife. Zokali gave birth to Bounkani, and Bounkani was so loved by King Hyenaryi, who had accepted the Dogombes into the area. Once in a while, he will call this man and say, sit on my throne, I will make you the next king. But he couldn't wait to be the next king. One day when he sat on the throne, he declared himself king, and it was accepted traditionally. You can only declare yourself king when you sit on the throne. So until a king dies, he never allows anybody to sit on his throne, not even his wife. Hyenaryi now had to run because he was no longer a king. And when he got into the middle of the bush, he started to sing the death song. In another story, I will sing the song to you. And then the ground opened and swallowed him, with a calabash resting on his finger, the index finger. It's a sign of saying, I give all to God. So Bounkani became the next king. Oh my God. And Bounkani, which in Dagbani means what is wrong, named the area of Buna. Buna. My brother, my sister, under him, the kingdom expanded. It became bigger. Hey! So huge. The people loved him because he was endorsed several times by the old King Hyenaryi. Look at what happened. We are closing. Now, the whole village went into farming. They also went into hunting and gold mining, to the point that they became so rich that the British had their eyes on them. Ha! See what happened? Now the British king was also interested in the area. The king in England, the queen, and the king, they wanted the place. So they sent a certain governor, he was called Ferdinand, to go all the way to the area and try to find a way of taking the place. At that time, Gold Coast had already been swallowed. My brother, my sister, the story is ending. But they tried and tried. Bounkani and his soldiers were so strong, they couldn't. So the British joined hands with the French, and they sent somebody in to try and usurp that place. They caught the person, slaughtered him, my brother, my sister, and they fed him to the vultures. So the British became so scared, they couldn't come to the place anymore. My brother, my sister, see what happened. Buna became a thriving place. Their king, Bounkani, became their greatest king. Ah. And see what happened finally. There was a slave raider and a great conqueror by name Samori Toure. He was the one who sent his son to go down to the area. He joined him later. They were able to conquer the people of Buna, drove out the Dagombes, who at the time had multiplied so much. And when they were conquered, all of them decided to leave. A lot of them were killed, and the place was Islamized. It became a Muslim area. In fact, there were a lot of Muslims already living there. It became Islamized. And today, my brother, my sister, when you go to the area, you would realize that the Gomba remnants, the language there has some Dagbani in it. The culture there has a lot of Dagomba in it. In Buna, my brother, my sister, the king, Naa Bounkani, was the founder of the area. Today we remember this great king who became king, my brother, my sister, after he took over the whole place from the old King Hyenaryi, who had made Lankara a village, a holy place, and the seat of government. My brother, my sister, today we remember how the British failed to take over the land, not even the French. It took the great Samori Toure to go down to the area and deal with the area. It had expanded all the way to Bole. The kingdom became so big, all the way to Bole. My brother, my sister, today we remember this great kingdom. It fell somewhere around 1890 when Samori Toure and his people took over the whole place. And that was how it dwindled. In fact, it was destroyed on the 6th of December, 1896. And its population was estimated around that time as 10,000. They weren't so many. And by 1889, my brother, my sister, it was thriving good till it was destroyed in 1896 on December 6th. Today we remember Buna Empire and the great Naa Bounkani. Today we remember you now. We remember you. Nah. The founder, the great founder of the Buna kingdom that protected a lot of oppressed people, made the area thrive. Protected the people, made it a great kingdom. Nobody knows how Naa Bounkani ended, but Samori Toure and his soldiers destroyed the land and drove away all the inhabitants, scattered them far and wide. Naa Bounkani, Naa Bounkani, Naa Uniyaminko, Naa Bounkani Uniyaminko. Today we remember the great king, and we say, Today we remember your power and your prowess. I want to say thank you so much for everything you've done. In the burden of knowledge, I ask you, now that you know the story of Naa Bounkani and the kingdom of Buna, what would you do? Bianani ole mini obafe yenzunda kagane mezaka yine yampa bango bokaya nang fifia nyanu kaina wobana yenwebe den lele ya jima singa be kunne lele ya jima singa beri. This has been the African history class.
The emperor, the conqueror, the champion, the lion is here.